Breaking updates. This is about what's been happening in Bangladesh. Remember, the High Commission of India in Bangladesh has now issued an advisory. This is for all Indian nationals living in the country. The Commission in its advisory says that in view of the ongoing situation in Bangladesh, the Indian community members and the Indian students residing in Bangladesh are advised to avoid local travel, to minimize their movement outside their living premises. It also says that in case of any urgency or need for assistance, Indian nationals can reach out to the High Commission and Assistant High Commissioners at the 24-hour emergency numbers. These numbers will also flash on your screens in just a moment. And Rishabh has been tracking that story. He's joining us right now on the show. Rishabh, time and again, we are seeing New Delhi, putting out these advisories, keeping in mind the safety of its nationals there. What is it that the advisory in particular tells us? And is there any particular group or, contact numbers where people can directly contact?
Well, definitely. Indian High Commission in Dhaka or the four assistant High Commissions in Sylhet, Rajshahi, Chittagong or others, they are all functional is what the MEA has given to understand. Also, the High Commissions have very categorically said that given the uncertainty, given the volatile situation in Bangladesh, the Indian nationals should not be using public transport, should not be venturing around outside, and if you are planning to travel to Dhaka, do not travel to Bangladesh. There are emergency numbers as well which have been given. These are 24/7 emergency numbers, and remember, these are not numbers that have been issued today. These numbers have been in place since the July unrest in Bangladesh. Indian High Commission has been working 24/7 since then. Even in the morning, the sources suggested that while the non-essential staff and family members of the embassy staff have returned to India, all the diplomats as well as the essential staff are there in embassy, and embassy is functional 24/7, ensuring the well-being of Indian nationals. Remember, as per the statement given by ex-officio minister in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, about 12,000 Indian nationals are still in Bangladesh.
And Rishabh, though clearly this is still a very developing situation, but is there any sense that you pick up from your sources in the ministry that there could be perhaps an attempt somewhere, after a few days, after looking at the situation, to bring back these people back home? I mean, is there any kind of sense that you pick up on that front?
Well, if we see commercial flights between Delhi-Dhaka sector has resumed. Air India is flying commercial flights between Delhi and Dhaka every evening, and Indians who want to return, the High Commission is assisting them to return back to India as well. Ex-Affairs Minister in the all-party meeting also, what sources suggest, has said that the situation is not as bad that warrants an evacuation, immediate evacuation as of now. So the commercial flights are there if someone wants to return, and the High Commission is assisting Indian nationals to return to India. But evacuation as of now is not something that India is looking at.
All right, Rishabh, for the moment, thank you so much for getting us the latest. So let's quickly recap what we know about the story so far. On your screen, you're reading through that advisory. Remember, that now has been issued. The Indian Embassy, they're also speaking of those emergency numbers that have been issued. And in case the need be, the government says that those are numbers that can be contacted through. And for the moment, they also say that everything continues to remain calm and they're monitoring the situation.